I'm with Fred, KM4MXD. You've just come back from Heard Island.
Yes, it was just an absolutely amazing experience. And I should mention here that I was more a part of the scientific team than the radio team. So I spent most of my time out with Gavin Marshall, actually gathering samples, exploring, and getting rock, soil, and water samples that are going to be used in research. And hopefully we might even discover some new forms of life out of those.
So what's your background?
Well, I'm an electrical engineer, and I got my ham license the first time back when I was in high school, and then I got it again pretty recently. I renewed again, and I taught mathematics for about 15 years, and I've been retired for 4 years.
So how did you get into the science part of this expedition?
Well, I'm sort of very experienced with volcanoes. I've climbed about 50 volcanoes all over the world, and I just stumbled across the Heard Island expedition, the idea of it on a volcano friend site, actually Tom Pfeiffer, who runs expeditions in Germany. And so I contacted Bob and just told him what my background was, and he was interested. And so for, I guess, about 2 years ago, I became a member of the expedition, and along with several other people involved in science. And then we had a period when the ship changed. We weren't able to take as many people, and fortunately I managed to be one of the people who was still able to go. So that was one of the luckiest moments of my life, was to be included in the expedition.
So you've climbed 50 volcanoes. Heard Island is, yet another volcano in the ocean. How did it compare?
I don't consider that I've actually climbed Heard Island in terms of climbing Mawson Peak or Big Bend, because I didn't make it to the top. But for me, I don't have to actually go up to the crater of a volcano and see lava in it to enjoy being at a volcano. Just to be on land that has been created volcanically is a fantastic experience. To see the different types of volcanic rock. Sometimes you'll see non-volcanic rock mixed in, which is the case at Heard Island, and just to see the wildlife, how the wildlife lives in the volcanic area, and just the whole setting is just, to me, is totally fantastic. So, but we did not even attempt to climb Big Ben. As far as I'm concerned, anyone who could climb Big Ben is Superman. I mean, that mountain, when you see it, it is just unbelievably impressive and daunting, and it's not something I would have the ability to do. To climb Big Ben.
So what was different about Heard Island as a volcano compared to some of the other volcanoes you've been around?
Well, I guess because it's totally glacier covered, at least at the higher elevations. And one thing that's really interesting is there's a second volcano called Mount Dixon, which is on the end of the Lawrence Peninsula, and if you study that lava, if you do a chemical analysis of it, it's totally different types of lava. So it's like you've got two volcanoes really, really close together, and yet when they erupt, they're taking lava from a different plumbing system in the earth. So which is very, very interesting. And even to make it more interesting, there's an island called McDonald Island that's not too far from Heard, and only about fewer than 10 people have ever been there. So there's been fewer people to McDonald Island than there have been to the moon. And that island started erupting after the last visit in 1980 was the last time people were there. And it's erupted and it's completely changed. It's almost double the size of the island, and nobody has ever gotten a piece of the lava from there before. So to me, that's just thinking of that island being out there and not being able to go there is really fascinating too. And I did get one look at McDonald Island from Heard Island. Just couldn't really see it very clearly, but I got a few pictures of it, and it's just in some ways even more mysterious. I guess just because you can't get there. It's just amazing. 3 different volcanoes in this small area. Plus probably a lot of undersea vents too, right around the area.
So what's your fondest memory of your expedition?
Well, the thing that I really, really like about this expedition is just how great all the people were on it. It's like everybody, the whole team, the ship's crew, it's like everybody was totally dedicated, and there was never any conflict or anything like that. even though we were all really different. I mean, I was the only crazy volcano person there, but I got along with everybody else, even people basically who didn't really want to leave the tent at all or go out and do anything. It was just a great time, and everybody was willing to adapt to the conditions. And if something happened or something changed, it was no big deal, and it was just fun. It had lots of interesting people to be out there with.
I'm with Fred, KM4MXD, and you're listening to News West.